Welcome to the channel. Before humans, before cities and machines, the Earth was ruled by giants. A single supercontinent called Pangaea stretched across the globe. The climate was hot, volcanoes raged, life was evolving into something extraordinary. And deep within this wild, untamed world, dinosaurs were born. But we're not here to talk about dinosaurs today. We're talking about something much, much bigger. Something so massive that even the dinosaurs would have run for the hills. In the beginning, there was nothing, no life, no water, just rock. Then over billions of years, the earth cooled, oceans formed, and life began. But it was a very different kind of life than we know today. Creatures unlike anything we can imagine roamed the planet. Some were huge, some were small, but all were perfectly adapted to their environment. They lived, they died, and in doing so, they changed the world forever. And as the continents moved and the climate shifted, more and more species evolved until finally, 66 million years ago, the asteroid hit. This is the story of our planet. From the first single cell to the rise of the dinosaurs, this is Earth. Okay, now it's time for the Mesozoic era, the age of reptiles. So let's go back in time to the Triassic period around 230 million years ago. That's when the first dinosaurs evolved. These early dinosaurs were small and agile and fast, like the Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus. They weren't kings yet, just survivors, but nature had a plan. And these tiny dinosaurs were just the beginning. Over the next 200 million years, dinosaurs would dominate the planet. They would grow to enormous sizes. Some species would be able to fly. Others would lay the foundation for modern birds. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate these small but mighty dinosaurs. They may not have been at the top of the food chain, but they were perfectly adapted to their environment. And that's what matters, right? Just ask any survivor. As time passed, Earth transformed. The Jurassic period brought lush forests, massive herbivores like Brachiosaurus, and terrifying predators like Allosaurus. Dinosaurs grew in size and strength. The age of giants had truly begun, but not all was well. A meteorite the size of a small mountain range had crashed into the Earth, causing mass extinction. Yet life found a way to not only survive, but thrive. The asteroid impact had also brought about a new era of geological time, the Cretaceous. And at the beginning of this period, there was a mass diversification of life, a recovery from the brink of extinction. Mammals began to dominate the land, giving rise to the ancestors of modern whales and dolphins. Birds took to the sky, evolving into huge flightless birds, some reaching over 9 feet tall. But it wasn't just the animals that were evolving, plants were, too. The first flowering plants appeared, along with the first fruits and vegetables. This was the dawn of a new age, an age of abundance. And yet this, too, would come to an end with the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous, the death of all dinosaurs except for birds, the end of an era. Not all dinosaurs were monsters. Some were actually really smart, like this guy. He's a relative of Ankylosaurus, but instead of being a herbivore, he was a hunter, and he wasn't even that big. He had to use his brain to hunt in packs, to protect his young and communicate with his family. Fossilized nests, tracks, and bone beds tell us that dinosaurs were social creatures who lived and died in groups. They cooperated to take down prey. They protected their young and communicated with each other through touch and sound. Some dinosaurs were gentle giants. They laid eggs, then huddled around them to keep them warm. Others were fierce fighters, battling each other to the death. But no matter what, they were still dinosaurs, and that means they were survivors. So we know that dinosaurs had feathers, but did you know that some of them might have looked like this? Hi, it's me and welcome to my channel. When I first started making videos, I had no idea that dinosaurs were so closely related to birds. I mean, we all know that birds can fly and dinosaurs couldn't, or at least they didn't. But a few years ago, something incredible happened. A discovery in the fossil beds of China revealed that some dinosaurs did have feathers. And not just any feathers, mind you, but actual feathers with quills and down, the kind that would make a bird look like a big, fluffy chicken. One of these dinosaurs was the velociraptor, which means fast walker. And yes, they were fast, but they were also likely covered in plumage from head to toe. These feathers weren't for warmth or for display, but for flight. And you can see why when you look at the fossilized imprint of one of its feathers. It looks just like a bird feather. Birds are not just distant relatives of dinosaurs, they are living dinosaurs. They evolved from theropod dinosaurs like the velociraptor, which means that every time you see a bird, you're seeing a living piece of history. 66 million years ago, it ended. A 10-kilometer wide asteroid slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. The sky darkened. Firestorms swept across the land. 75% of all life vanished. The mighty Tyrannosaurus, the towering sauropods, they were all gone. But not everything perished. From the ashes, new life rose. And from that moment, mammals began their rise to dominance. They became the big dogs in the Mesozoic era, giving birth to giants like woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats. But then, 34 million years ago, the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs wasn't actually an asteroid at all. It was a dwarf planet. It had been wandering through the solar system, passing Earth's orbit every couple 100,000 years and leaving behind beautiful rings of debris. And we have the pictures to prove it. The reason we know so much about this ancient impact event is because of these rings. They're still here today, stretching from Jupiter to Saturn. They're the only thing left of the planet that once killed the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, the ultimate success story. They ruled Earth for 150 million years, humans. Barely 300,000, and yet our bones lie buried beneath cities, deserts, and oceans. Each fossil a time capsule from an ancient world. And every bird you see is a living echo of their legacy. But what else is hidden in the rock, waiting to be discovered? Maybe this, a dinosaur that lived in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, preserved in the ash of its eruption. Or this, a relative of Ankylosaurus in the genus Boreopelticurus. Mark Mitchell, a horned dinosaur from Canada. Dinosaurs are more than just fossils. They're a window into a world long gone. A world that can teach us about the history of life on Earth and the forces that shaped it. So keep looking up because you never know what you might find.